Hi guys, so I hope we're all sitting very comfortably and ready for this one because it's a long one. It's about 25 minutes guys, so if you need to make a cup of tea, pause and go do it. So I get a lot of requests to slow my videos down. I only put them at 2x speed, but this one is in real time today. I think I 2x speed one of the filings, but here we go. So this I did the other day, and we're going to start off with the camera angle from above. Now, I've done all of my natural nail prep as I usually would on Christy, so I've filed down her previous set to a thin, clear base. I've done all my cuticle work, I've then prepped, dehydrated, primed, got everything ready, and now I'm coming in with my acrylic. Now, the first bead I'm using is CJP Birthday Suit, sorry. And I'm placing this, I'm taking a little bit of the liquid out of the back of the bead, and then I'm placing this where I want my smile line to be, in the middle of the nail, and then slowly blending back, and now I'm just patting and blending into shape, using the tip of my brush to create that nice C curve. Now I don't like them too deep, I like them to start either side where the free edge starts on the natural nail, but then have a nice, come down a decent way through the length of the nail, through the middle of the nail even. And then coming in with my second bead, I've not taken any of the liquid out of this bead, and I'm just starting with the cuticle area and blending forwards. I'm then going to cap that entire nail in crystal glass, and this is where I create my apex. Now the reason I cap in a clear, or you could use a transparent pink, rather than a cover pink, is because I don't want the nails to look too... Sometimes if you cap in a cover pink as well, not cap, but you do the entire structure with it, as you can see, you can still see a little bit of my lady's half moon, and it just blends nicer into the natural nail, whereas if you do it all in cover pink, it can look quite a bit like a mannequin, a bit too fake. I know they're fake, but it can look too fake. For those of you that are interested, I also did this live feed on the Glitter Fairy group for the other hand, so after you've watched this hand be done, the other hand is going to be done from a different angle, but was filmed from above for the live feed. So there's a lot going on with this video. So here I'm using, literally just unpacked these acrylics. So as you can see, I haven't quite got my ratio right. I was working a little wet, even as design colour. So I've still got to have a little play with these ones. But these are Glam and Glitz. And this one, I think is Tulip, and the other one is Calla Lily. But I would have to check. Was it Calla Lily? Calla Lily? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I've never said it out loud before. And then I'm coming in with my birthday suit from the cuticle area and blending down. As you can see, because I'd used the colour powder a little too wet, it kind of all swiped off the nail. You can mix and match. Glam and Glitz apparently you can use with any system and it's still a strength powder. So they sell as a powder only, and you can use it with any monomer. I would still, probably myself, cap in a complete system, so I'll still continue to use CJP as my strength system. But just so you know, that's how they market them. And I have to say that the colour, the pigmentation is lovely. It was my fault. I've literally just got them out the box, and I didn't have a play with them. I went straight to video. So this is the other one, and I'm pretty sure this one's Calla Lily. And it's a nice kind of purpley. It's got like an iridescent sheen to it. And again, I'm just fading that up, and then I'm going to come with Cherry Blossom down. Now the glitters I'm using are from the Glitter Fairy. They are from the Satin Multi-Cut collection. The pink one is Peony, and then the purple one is Lilac. And these have a lovely satiny, silvery sheen to them. So I'm just blending that colour in. And then coming in with the birthday suit at the cuticle area and blending down. And again, yes, I'd worked a little too wet on my design powder. I'm going to have another proper play. I was just so excited that they arrived. And then coming in with that lilac, placing in that like diagonal, sweeping up and down, getting that nice blend. And these did match the acrylic colours really nicely. Just going to go back and cap that first now, so using crystal glass. placing it near the cuticle area. Now, if you have a look at how my brush is placed near the cuticle area, you'll notice that whenever I'm blending back, I'm making sure that the acrylic is still underneath my brush, if that makes sense. So when I'm trying to blend back, I'm not pushing it back with my brush so that I'm pushing with the acrylic on top, like above my brush. So the brush is always between my cuticle and the acrylic as I'm blending back. I've done a cuticle video where I explain it much better. So see, patting and tapping down. So I hope you guys are finding this useful to be going at normal speed. I'm struggling to keep talking. And I'm going to cap this nail as well, same as I did with the last. So placing that clear bead on and then gently blending back. And do you see how my brush is always between the acrylic and the cuticle? And that's how I can get really, really close, but there's still that little millimetre gap so I don't flood that cuticle. Whereas if you try and push the acrylic and the acrylic is in front of your brush, so it kind of goes cuticle acrylic brush, that's how you can end up getting a too bulky cuticle area. Like usual, just patting and tapping and pulling that acrylic down. Adding a little bit on the end there because I just wanted to add like a little extra bit. So it's gone a bit thin. Now I'm going to use my 150 grit file to file in that smile line. Now remember, whenever you're filing in a smile line, you're pushing against the acrylic. So I'm pushing like towards, almost like towards the cuticle area. Don't push down on your tip or your form or anything like that, because that is how you like bend tips, or if you've got like really thin tips like this that you file down, you can snap the clear off or anything like that. So you're just kind of pushing against that acrylic. Dust off that excess, and then I'm going to use a bead of clear acrylic, a very small wet bead, and I'm going to pick up some of that Peony glitter, place it in the centre and push it right up to the wings. And I always file in my smile lines. That's one thing that's asked a lot. I always file them in. It takes a couple of seconds to file in a smile line, and it means you get that lovely crisp wall, and it makes such a difference. I'm just going to let that glitter, kind of like that glitter and acrylic set for a bit, and then I'm going to come on to the index finger, placing down that clear layer, and I'm going to do an ombre with the two different colours. So I'm starting at the top with Lilac, using a bead of a small wet bead of clear acrylic. I was also really struggling with my ratio when I did these. I don't know what was wrong with me, but I did really struggle this day. You know when you haven't done nails for a couple of days and you come back and you're like, I've actually forgotten. So I was working a little too wet when I was picking up my glitter today as well. But I still wanted to share the video because, you know, we all have our off days. And then I'm coming in with the bead with the pink. I'm going to get a little blend either way, but then I'm just going to use my wet brush to pick up a little bit of the pink and then a little bit of the lilac, and that's how I'm going to get a nice little ombre there. And then just patting that in so that there's a nice blend line in between the two. And I'm going back to that tip. And I'm just going to cap that glitter in crystal glass. As always, making sure that the glitter's gone nice and matte so I know that it's all been encapsulated properly. And then the same with this now. So starting at the cuticle area, placing on a bead of crystal glass. And as you can see, once again, pushing back towards the cuticle area, making sure that my brush is always between my acrylic and my cuticle. I find it much easier to demonstrate than explain things. So sorry if I sound terribly clumsy with how I'm trying to explain how I'm doing things here. And I'm watching this because this was filmed yesterday when I had my long nails on. I've had to cut them all down because I'm moving house and it's making me sad. So like usual, I'm doing as much as I can with my brush so that then when I file, I'm just refining the shape. And on the thumb, because this is another request I get because I never show the thumbs, because normally the thumbs are the same as something I've done on another hand, another finger even. But today I'm showing you a thumb. And I'm just doing an ombre, and I'm pretty sure that's Tulip with Birthday Suit, same as I've done before. And then I'm going to come in with that Peony glitter and blend across that blend line. And this glitter and this acrylic match beautifully, so they do blend together nicely. Just showing you there from the side so you get an idea of how thin I work when I'm putting on my glitter and like my base layers. So I work really thin, almost just painting those colours on, so that then when I cap the nail it doesn't end up too bulky. And again, just making sure it all goes that nice matte colour so that I know I've encapsulated all that glitter. Okay, and when we go on to the next hand, this is coming in from a side view, so some of it isn't as zoomed in as I'd like. I'm sorry about that. As I said, I was doing a live feed at the same time, but I just wanted to get a little side view because people have commented how this has been useful in the past. You will prefer the up above, but this way in this video you get to see both. So this one I have put at 2x speed. Otherwise this video will last forever. But this is just to show what I was talking about before. So again, coming in with the purple coloured acrylic and then blending up. So as we're working from the side, you can get an idea of how thin I'm keeping that. And then unfortunately my tripod doesn't go any higher, so yes, sorry. When I get onto the next fingers, it will be easier for you to see what I'm doing. And now placing on that glitter. And can you see still with the glitter, I'm still working super thin. So I'm just placing that clear bead on, and you see how thin that still is, coming in with the pink, placing on, and then using the tip just to nudge that glitter around and put it all where I want it. And then a little bead with the lilac. And then just using the wet brush to pick up the two colours to blend together there. With that pink, placing near the tip, blending up, nice and thin. Then get a wet bead of clear acrylic into the glitter. Same again, same with the ombre, making it patting, blending, nice and thin. And if you use a good quality, highly pigmented acrylic, you shouldn't need to work too thick, because they've got the pigment and the colour that you can work quite thin and still get that nice amount of colour on the nail. Now I'm just going to cap all of those nails. Coming in with that clear. As you can see, always keeping that nail slightly tilted down. And then patting, blending and pulling that bead forward. As you can see again, my brush blends back but always keeps between my acrylic and my cuticle, so I'm not flooding that cuticle in any way. So hopefully I won't get my thumb in the way too much for this one, and you'll see what I mean. So place it down, and then do you see how I'm blending back, but always keeping that acrylic underneath my brush, not in front of or pushing towards the cuticle. And even when capped, it's still a nice, it's not bulky, it's not thick, it's still a nice thin nail. Okay, so now we're going to file, and we're back to normal speed now. So this should give you an idea of how long it takes me to file. So I'm starting with sidewall, free edge. And then going gently around that cuticle area. Just getting that nice blend around that cuticle area. You don't want to be putting too much pressure on at this point. Nice blending and refining. And it generally takes me about a minute and a half each nail to file. I think the most important thing as well, to make sure that you're getting nice even nails, is to get yourself into a routine. So I'm not saying my routine, but I'm saying get yourself into a routine. So you'll do the same thing on every single nail, so then you'll end up having a nice uniform set of nails that are all like the same length, shape and smoothness. because it's when you don't really have a routine and you do a bit of free edge and then a bit of eyeball and then this, you know, it's without that routine that makes you, you know, less consistent. Here we have the same nail from above. So this is exactly the same as what you've just seen, but from above. As I said, I do hope this is useful for you guys to have the different views. And any constructive criticism and feedback is always welcome. I shared some bridal nails the other day and I hadn't zoomed in enough, so I hope I got close enough for you guys today. It's finding that line between like getting close enough to see, and often sometimes I like that you can see like what my brush is doing and my pickup and things like that. But so give me a shout if you've appreciated the camera angles, any suggestions, stuff like that. Somebody did comment on one of my videos recently saying that because I'm right-handed I should have my camera over my left shoulder, so I have actually moved that, and I do find that my camera isn't zooming in on my hand all the time, so thank you, that was a very helpful hint. I've only been doing videos for like 3 or 4 months now, so I'm still learning and it's all on my phone, so I do the best I can. I want to get some better equipment, but give me time. And that I do for every single nail, like that. And on this first nail I'm using a Glam and Glitz. It's like a clear with this lovely like shimmery silver in, and it adds just a nice little dimension to the satin shimmers. Secured that for 30 seconds or 60 seconds LED, can't remember which one. And then coming in with my usual top coat, my CJP LED top coat. Starting at that cuticle area. Again, with your brush, make sure that you're never pushing the product back into the cuticle. Okay. And then that is cured in the lamp for 60 seconds LED. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a long one, so thank you for sticking with me. As I said, I'm trying to find some new angles. I am working on the side angle view. I will try and get my tripod a little bit higher and zoomed in a little bit more so that you can see a better angle and the other fingers aren't like blocking it. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed them. Any questions or comments, just pop it in the description below. If you have any requests for things you'd like to see, pop that in the description below too. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you will tune in again soon. So